Thanks for tuning in to A Better World, where we aim to illustrate that today is the greatest time to be alive and show the progress we're making as a civilization. I'm your host, Luis Acevedo, and in today's episode, we're going to be going over an article that I read from Digital Trends, and it is titled, Watch Your Lawnmower Cut Your Grass While You Sit on the Front Porch Sipping a Beer. Now, if that title doesn't excite you, I don't know what will. That just means that we get to be lazier now. But in all reality, it is a good thing that's happening. It saves up time. Anyway, diving into the article. This company over in Sweden made a automower. And essentially what that is just a lawnmower that mows the lawn itself. It does everything by itself. And it actually came out 20 years ago in 1998, which is crazy to think about because I hadn't even heard of this thing until recently. Like very recently I've heard about this. And to think that this was out 20 years ago and had no prior knowledge of it is pretty crazy. And it goes to show how quickly technology grows and that we don't know everything that's going on in the world. We don't know what's being made. But anyway, over in Sweden they came up with this 20 years ago. But at first it didn't really catch on. It took almost 10 years. Until 2005 it didn't really catch on. And the reason for that is because when new technologies come out, they tend to be really expensive, very expensive, because of prototypes and investments and the material they have, and just everything they're working with at the time isn't what it will be in the future. So once time passes, they find new materials, they find cheaper alternatives and better ways to make the product. Then as a consequence, the prices drop. And because of that price drop, the sales started to increase, and as of January 2017, the company sold 1 million units. So that's huge. But the bulk of their sales have come from Europe and Germany, and Sweden is where it's really popular. So it's a foreign concept to the United States and North America as a whole right now, but they are planning on coming to our market soon. Maybe they're already in the market, but point is that they're going to be coming and trying to implement this to be as popular as it is over in Sweden, Germany, and Europe. Now, basically what this does, or you already know what it does, but what it is and what it looks like, it's kind of like a Roomba. It's kind of like that. It's just the lawnmower version of a Roomba. And what you do to set it up is there's this kind of wire that acts as a barrier that you'll put in to your ground, and it will tell the mower not to go, outside of outside of the wire. Essentially, that'll be the perimeter in which it mows for whatever length you want it to set up. And with that, you connect it to your phone, so you can kind of control it from there. And the first cut is going to take 48 hours, but after that first cut, it's going to do daily cuts, basically trimming off millimeters off the grass, so that way it substitutes the need for weed killers, fertilizer, and compost, things like that. So, it may be, it's really not that expensive, really. It's about the same price as a riding lawnmower, ranges from anywhere from $1,500 to $3,500. So, if you think about it, you're making an investment that will also save you money because you won't need any of the other lawn care products because it'll essentially do all that. It'll be an all-in-one. So that's really neat. And it works in the rain, which is cool because I know you and I don't mow in the rain. Screw that, right? But this thing will do it for you if you wanted it to. And when it does need a break and it needs charged, it only takes 60 minutes. So 1 hour for the thing to get a full charge, and then it's back at it. And it does all that by itself. Pretty crazy. So there's like a docking station you'll set up in your yard somewhere, and then it'll drive up to it when it needs to be charged. And what they want to do in the future with it too, in the near future, is have it communicate. Well, basically you'll be able to communicate through Alexa or Echo. Now, from my understanding after reading the article, there are two different options apparently with Alexa and with Echo. So with Echo, it's just going to be more of verbal commands that you give to Echo, that which I guess via Bluetooth, it'll communicate with the automower and tell it, hey, start, stop, pause, things of that nature is what you'll be able to do with Echo. Now with Alexa, you're actually going to be able to set schedules and times and dates and when you want it to start and stop through Alexa. So that's really cool. And what they eventually want to do is make it so that way you don't need Alexa or Echo to do that. You can just do the verbal commands to the actual mower itself without needing a third-party mediator to come in and essentially translate is kind of what it's doing, I guess. And you won't need that. Hopefully in the future is what they want to do. So that's a little further down the road, but in the near future they're going to use Alexa and Echo to be the segue for you to give voice commands to your automower. But in the future, you'll be able to do it just with the automower. And also something to look forward to with this automower is that it can act almost as a yard watchdog in a way, because they want to put cameras on it as well, so that way you can watch it from your phone while you're on vacation, away from home, things of that nature, to see how your yard looks, make sure that it's cutting the grass properly, and just any other little things that you may have around, like a flower bed, things of that nature that you want to make sure that are, still in good shape. You'll be able to watch it through the video. And not only that, but another way I look at it too is that if you have a video on your automower that you can see everything that's going on, you can also keep an eye from your house while you're away. And if anything suspicious occurs and you notice it on camera, then you can act on it quickly. And so not only will it help you maintain and keep a beautiful yard, but it'll also help you secure your home. I think that'll just be more as unintentional result of it, but a positive one. And what they want to do even further down the road. Now this is even further down the road, and this, to me, is probably the coolest part about this whole project, is that they want to have this thing go out and do public property. And the way they're going to do that is they're going to use drones. And the drones are going to act as shuttle ships, essentially. And so they'll be hovering above the city, looking and analyzing where it needs to be, where it needs to go to work at, where it needs to be mowed throughout the city. And as it spots it out, it basically picks a route on how it's going to do everything. And then the first spot it goes to, goes there, hovers above the ground, and then 6 little mowers come out, because as it's hovering, it's a shuttle ship that carries about 6 individual of these auto mowers. And so when it gets down there, it drops them and they disperse out and they begin mowing. And almost it's a diagonal shape that they take across them. And they have sensors, and the sensors are also communicating with the sensors of the drone. So the drone is essentially governing the auto mowers as they go through this public property and mow the lawn. And with these sensors, they can also pick up the trees, branches, things of that nature, so they're not running into things or people. So that's obviously really important. And yeah, so this to me is very exciting, very promising, because it's just showing that today is obviously a hell of a time to be alive, because we have all these cool innovations coming out, and now the world's becoming an easier place to live in because of these innovations. And things like mowing your lawn is going to be obsolete. I mean, it's crazy to think that if everything goes the way that they intended to go, that in 30, 40 years, your kids, my kid, whatever, are going to be asking us, so you really had to mow your own lawn? Think about that. You're going to have your grandkids and kids and great-grandkids asking you, so you guys used to really mow your own lawn? That's crazy. Why? It's going to be like us thinking about people who came up with the wheel. Like, oh, wow, you came up with a wheel. Who really cares? That's all you could do, So it's just crazy to think of how fast we're advancing. And the world's going to be a completely different place. And I know a lot of people aren't too thrilled by that. And that's understandable. I get it, because technology can take a turn for the worst. I'm very realistic when it comes to the possibilities that technology can bring evil. I mean, those are real possibilities. But I do believe in humans enough to know that, or to feel that good always prevails. So, and it doesn't even seem like the trends are pointing in the direction of technology destroying us. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm ignorant. But What I do know and what I do believe is that humans tend to do the right thing when it counts. So I believe that technology is only going to keep advancing in positive ways. I'm sure there's going to be some negative things that come about it, but I'm more than confident that we'll be able to counteract whatever negatives come our way. Now, as far as this, obviously it's nothing that devastating that's coming out. It's just something to mow your freaking lawn. Now, maybe it can take away jobs from people, but it's also going to increase employment too, which is a beautiful thing. And you just have to really think about it like this. Every time we have a new revolution coming through, like when we, the Industrial Revolution, for example, it made a lot of people unemployed because there was no need for a lot of the manual labor anymore. A lot of machines were taking over the jobs, and or assembly lines were taking over a lot of people's jobs, but also created a lot of jobs too, and just new things came about it. So that's the way to look at this. So even though it's going to take out a lot of jobs, it's going to bring a lot more jobs. I actually, digressing a little bit more here, but staying on technology, I actually read an article that AI, once we further continue to advance it and improve it, the potential for it to take out jobs is very high. I mean, it's 100%. And they're estimating like 70 million jobs. But on the flip side of that, they're estimating that, okay, even though 70 million jobs will probably be lost, we'll probably gain, a few 100 million jobs out of this. So that's really cool. I mean, unfortunately, people are going to lose work, but that's the way of the world. We have to learn to adapt and grow and change to our environments. And right now, we're changing so rapidly, but it's very promising. And yeah, so that's enough for my little rant on this. And I hope you all enjoyed the article that we covered today. I know I found it very fascinating. And like always, if you like what you heard or saw, be sure to subscribe and pass it along to a friend if you think that they can get something valuable out of this. And if you know of a topic that you would like me to cover, that you can show me that there has been progression made and that we're getting better in this realm, and send it to me. And I'll be more than happy to do an article about it, or an episode more rather. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Goodbye.